Hey, and welcome to Tales from the Dark Side, Easter edition, I guess. Whatever. A lot of people watch it on Wednesday anyway, so it doesn't matter what day we say we're on live. We do appreciate all the views either way. This week, we got a little bit, we've been asked a lot this week about Bad Bach, so we'll review that trailer real quickly. We will also get into some of the casting news. I heard there was a little bit of I don't know. People didn't know who people was that were well established. And then we're going to get into our Clone Wars review at the end, and that will finish off season 1 for Clone Wars, so we can get into some other stuff next week. All right, cool. Well, I hope everybody had a good day today, or a good weekend, or whatever day you're watching this, you had it. It was great for me. I ate lots of candy. Whatever. Hey, we got the man himself, Jedi Johnson, with us. Jedi, say hello.
How's it?
Is it Easter in Hawaii, or is it not yet? How's that work?
It is Easter. It is Easter.
There you go. Well, I'm glad we're taking you away from your Easter dinner. That's always good. Pete, are you still editing all our stuff so it looks great?
Yes, I am still working on it. So if I'm looking down, it's because I'm busy. I'm working.
You got it, Pete. You got it. Jen, say hello.
Hey, everyone.
Oh, Jen, we got some good stuff here. We got a lot of Jen things today. Lots of Jen things today. Solo Wookie, start us off. Let's go. Get in that co-pilot seat and put us into the hyperdrive.
What's up, everybody? How are you doing? Are you guys ready for this show? It's going to be a good one.
I hope it is. All right, so what do we want to start off with? Do we want to start off with casting news, or do we want to start off with Bad Batch? Jen, it is your show, so you please tell us what you'd like to start off with.
It's not my show, but I like Bad Batch.
Which one? Bad Batch?
Bad Batch.
See, it is her show because she. All right, Bad Batch. It is. Here we go. The great trailer. We'll talk a little bit more about it at the end. We start off in the new Gladiators room back there. They've got the new. That's kind of cool. I thought that was nice how they updated and everything else. They added a darker element to it. You got Tarkin. Not quite a Grand Admiral yet, but with a little bit of the cloning things. This is very interesting because we've known for a while in the old Legacy that the Galactic Empire did come back and go to them and kind of was like, oh, wait, these aren't working real quickly, so we need to try to change the droids and then wipe out the droids. It's cool to see with somebody who was dealing with the Tarkin Initiative around the same time as this, that he was also, this was part of the Tarkin Initiative, right? Like the Bad Batch seemed to be fully now canonized as part of the Tarkin Initiative. For those people that know Rogue One, that was like some of the things they were going through, like the Darksaber and everything like that. For people who read the comic books, if you watched our reviews on Darth Vader number 1 through whatever we got through, there's a guy named Silo. There's a whole little group too that was all part of the Tarkin Initiative. So it was technically the Death Star was taken over by it either way. So that's all the stuff that was in Tarkin Initiative and much, much more. So it's cool that they keep hitting up the Tarkin Initiative. I thought that's really cool. We also get yes, Wrecker. Hey, listen, there's a lot of cool action, huh? In that thing. There's people getting thrown, there's people getting tossed, a little bit of wrestling moves. What do we have there, Pete?
The German suplex in that little cut.
And then Wrecker giving it back to Tarkin, which was kind of nice. I thought that was cool. Yeah. Oh, we got to see the new uniforms for everybody. We get Echo in the back. They're still pale as anything. They need to get him a little He needs to see maybe a sunny planet, put him on Tatooine for a bit or something like that. Get it back in.
Dude, he
Gollum look he's going for,
there's no way that they could say these are clones. Like at any point, they look nothing like Jango Fett or any of the cartoon animations of the clones. Like they should all look like Echo, just a little bit different. They really don't. But whatever.
This is all post-torture too. For Echo, is it not?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
Clone Wars, when they had him locked up and did all the stuff to him and added all the servos and tied him into the stuff.
I haven't learned all their names yet. Who's the guy in the front?
Hunter.
Okay, am I the only one that thinks he looks like Charlie Sheen from that that spoof on
Rambo?
Because he's looking like Rambo.
Hot Shots.
Hot Shots. Yes.
Yeah. He does. He looks a lot like Hot Shot Charlie Sheen. We've also got a Wrecker, which is the big one in the back, the only one that actually does look kind of like a clone besides Echo. Then you got Tech here on the left with all the stuff. And then we got Crosshair. I think it's kind of cool, man. I like the Crosshair figure, and we'll get into that a little bit more later.
Yeah, Deadshot.
Oh, this girl known as Omega, because that's what it said when you were watching the French release of this in the closed caption area. That's what they're calling her.
Yeah.
Very interesting about her. One, I know a lot. I don't know, but it does seem like if it would be a daughter of a clone, wouldn't that be Boba Fett's daughter? Which would be interesting because she would be around the same age as Jabba, or not Jabba, Bubba right about now, maybe a little bit younger, which is very interesting. Also, too, if you notice the pendant on her forehead, the lady who's in charge of cloning wears the same type of pendant. But also, what they added in there, a little sneak, little Easter egg thing, is if you're a fan of the Night Sisters, this is why it's a Jen episode. She's carrying one of the bows that is very similar. Now, listen, it's just an electro string, so it could not be a Night Sister bow. But who else used bows besides the Night Sisters? I can't think of anybody. I mean, I'm not saying it's linked to that at all. I think it's more likely that she would be a clone daughter of Boba Fett.
X-23.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you can't go back and do for those people that don't know about Boba Fett's daughter. I mean, there might have been a little bit of it might not actually have been even a clone of Boba. How can I say this in the PG manner? If you ever watched Sons of Anarchy and Peg from
Married Children.
Yeah, Peg from Married Children. What happened to her in the basement happened to the lady. So you don't know whose child that might actually be. Believe it or not, that was something in Dark Horse Comics. So I mean, he said it was his, but you never know. Yeah,
I'm just talking about flip the chromosome while cloning, as they did with X-23. She's not the daughter of Wolverine per se, but a clone that's been.
So that's what I'm saying. They could call her, but they could call her now the daughter of Boba Fett because they could. You could do something to that effect, which would be kind of cool, I guess. I don't know.
So because of the timing here, you're saying Boba Fett instead of Jango Fett. Jango Fett is.
Oh, I meant Jango Fett's kid. Yeah.
Oh, Jango. Okay.
Yeah, it would be Boba Fett's sister. But no, so Boba Fett in the books had a kid. But either way, the girl that was there that was a whatever part clone wouldn't. This could be her. I don't think it is, though. I mean, it's just a reach on it.
Yeah, we don't want to get all confused because Jango Fett was raising his little brother more than his son because he was a copycat of himself. So
he was technically raising himself, kind of. So then this would be the daughter version of himself, kind of too, and it would be the brothers. It would be brother sister, same person, but of a different. Yeah, X-23.
We need
there
more
you go.
On this one.
We do. So Omega maybe X-23 is. Thank you, Pete, for that. That's what we got there. That may not actually be.
If I had to raise myself, you know how bad I would do all kinds of messed up stuff to myself. I would play jokes on myself all the time. I would when I grew up, I would be tortured.
Solo, that entire time we were talking, I was waiting for the rabbit hole to come up because we were just really just.
No, that was a justified rabbit hole to try and clear up some of the possible questions that are out there right now. I thought it was totally justified.
Good. The only thing that I do find extremely interesting was right before this, they used one of the thrusters that looked like it was at the junkyard in Fallen Order, which would be the Kaz movie. And then they have that like Night Sister that we don't quite know where she came from. Wink, wink. I'm just saying that's not the only way you get a bow like this. This is how all the bows were because it's just like how all the all the guard staffs are. They all have that electro thing in it. It's just they don't have strings. There. I mean, I think there were some strings with some of the smaller. The episode of Clone Wars when they did the Seven Samurai. There was, but it wasn't electro strings. So,
before we move on, if we're about to move on, so there were some other theories out there I was going to bring out. I mentioned before. One of them was being a clone of Palpatine. We don't think that's going to happen. I think probably we're closer to on target with it's a Jango clone.
The face.
Right. But I think a lot of people were looking at the hair too, seeing okay, that's kind of Palpatine's hair from the Clone War. Maybe that's what started that. There's some people. Is she Force sensitive? She's definitely a fan girl of the Bad Batch, so she has some. There's some connection there. Yeah, there's that one scene where she's very excited. I guess to meet the Bad Batch
because it's like the Bad Batch. Like they said that the Bad Batch can take out a whole platoon by themselves.
Mm-hmm.
So they're like,
I would say that she might have a closer link to the Night Sisters than that, just because of the lighter color hair, and that they were a lot of times they were handed off to somebody as an adopted child. I would buy that theory more. If they make this a Palpatine close, I won't be reviewing this series. I will.
What if she's just a Bad Batch herself? Like, well, wait a second. How did we end
Yeah,
up?
she
with
could have
Brad?
been. Yeah, X-23 could have
What
been a Bad Batch. That's the most plausible and probably 100% of. I just wanted to look. I wanted to include it because Jen loves that little Night Sister from the game, so I was trying to add that in there. And because we had the little Kaz link, because it did look like they were on that same planet doing the doing one of the scenes. It was cool. All right, that's all I was trying to do there. Yes, and the Palpatine thing. Once again, you could do that, but I won't be watching. This will be like Resistance.
Well, they've already kind of done
Nothing.
that in Mandalorian with the Force sensitive, kind of storyline.
What if this is Broom Boy's mom? This could be Broom Boy's mom. I don't know, bro. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Jedi. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No. You didn't cut me off. That was just my thought. Was that we don't know. I think that's going to be, to me, what I thought about is kind of an underlying storyline. And in addition to their adventures, I was just curious, why is she so infatuated? It could be like Jen was saying, that their reputation precedes them, and she's just. But my initial thought was, okay, maybe there's some connection there, and that might be one of those things that as they go through their adventures, there's little clues drop. That's kind of the season-long question or something.
So here's a couple things. Here's a couple things I'm going to let everybody in. And I'm not saying go watch bootleg stuff on the interwebs, but there was a couple unproduced seasons that actually have them going back to separatist planets, and we do see a part of that happening here. We also know that if they're out there looking for people, we might have had Bad Batch do the animatronics where they kind of helped out a Yoda and that type of thing too. Feel free to go look up whatever. Is it called animatronics? Whatever it's called. I wish Mike was here, but he's probably having a great Easter.
Animatronics?
Yeah, animatronics. So go watch that stuff.
Like the Hall of Presidents.
Animatics.
Welcome to the Hall.
No, it's animatics. It's animatics.
Oh.
Jen's got it right. But I will say this. If she was a clone, if she was an X-23, why wouldn't they speed her up? Long pause. That's not for dramatic. That was actually a question. I don't have an answer. I actually was hoping that somebody would fill that dead airspace. But what I'm saying is, like, they did it with the only clone they have never sped up before would be Boba. So the only thing I could take from this is maybe she's not a clone. Maybe she's a human, because these cloners, they'd speed anything up. They speed everything up. They even speed themselves up, don't they? I mean, they speed everything up. So, like, I'm just saying.
Maybe because they were surprised. They're like, well, we don't want to speed up this little girl. Let's see what happens.
Well, she'd be the only female that.
Well, they could clone another one.
Whole place.
Maybe so, but if she's, I see it as like the kid that's like there and adopted by these cloners and maybe just wandering the halls. I don't think Palpatine. Oh man,
What, like a pet?
Yeah,
I
I like that.
Right? And you're like, oh man, we don't want to just get rid of it. Well, I'll just keep it around.
Well, why would you just grow it up, shave its head, and throw it out there with everybody else? Plus, you'd have darker. Her skin tone, I think, would be a little bit, because they all have brown hair, right? All the clones.
Well, except those in the Bad Batch.
Hey, has 99? Is that his name? 99, the janitor guy. Has he died by this point already? He's already died. Okay.
He's way dead. He's way buried.
Oh,
sorry. Spoiler alert. Spoiler alert for 20 years ago. Yeah, he's dead.
That's it. I'm done. I'm not watching any more of these.
No, so I think we've gone down the rabbit hole on her enough on Omega. Probably the chat is over there. I bet you JJ Maxwell's got about 50. Do we know if she is or not sped up? Well, she wouldn't be sped up. Well, actually, that's not true. We don't know. You're right. We don't actually know. They could have just done her at the last. She could be the last thing off the train. A Ventress clone. Oh, good Lord. Please don't. But they're probably gonna. Yeah. Okay. So then we get Fennec. That was kind of cool. Like, it's the reversal. It's actually not a fast forward where you get the character, in cartoons and then live action. You got the live action version. This, she's actually hunting down that. So that's kind of cool. So I think there's going to be a
voice too.
Which is dope. So we might get to see some more bounty hunters in there, which would be nice. I'd like to see some more Bounty Hunters. This is cool too. We got Shaw Guerrero back here. Sorry about this bad picture of it or whatever, but is what it is. And he's actually handing over a blaster, so I'd assume at this point they had lost their weapons and stuff like that. Regaining in, and he's pretty much telling you to go for it. We don't have somebody there yet, but I know they're going to run into him later, and I'll explain who that is. This is really cool. This is what I was talking about Crosshair. I don't know if you guys caught this, but he had shot this electro bladed, what looks like a dagger, out of his gun at one point, dude, and it went through the air and like collapsed this dude.
He fired his bayonet out.
Yeah, dude, super cool. So I hope we're going to see a lot of new weapons. I do not know that they're going to incorporate some of the what are those? Not the H wings from Battlefront 2 that you saw going in there. There's a scene when they're on a separatist planet, which was one of the attack points at Battlefront. So they're doing a lot of stuff from the Battlefront places that they're incorporating in. That's why I think I'm so high on them incorporating Fallen Order Easter eggs or planets into there or stuff like that too. Not saying that Kaz is going to show up, and I'm not saying that we're going to see a little, droid or that we're going to see a Night Sister. It'd just be kind of cool if they did it. I actually would be down for that. Better than Palpatine clone, I guess. I don't know what everybody's theories are on that, but hopefully you like it. One of these days I'll start just writing fan fiction for it. I do have a couple other things too. I coughed and stuff, the freeze frames real quickly. This group right here, I don't know if everybody caught this one either. It's the Zangir. And Dart Strang was the guy that was it. Now Dart Strang is the dude in the front, and it sure looked like he was using his electric rope on the Bad Batch at one time and trying to catch it, which means that the slavers might be going after him, which is kind of interesting. Just like a little throwback to Clone Wars where they first showed up. Kind of cool. And then this right here, I tried to get it as blown up as I could and as good as I could and as clean as I could, but I didn't give it to Pete to do that. But that sure does look like Rex to me.
I like it. It's got a hazy quality. It looks like, you're in the desert.
Yeah. Right where the ship's wrecks are too, which is kind of cool because you get a little Rexy Rex in there, which means he's missing a couple other people, but that's kind of how I also figure they might get a little bit of Yoda in there too and go back to the original animatronic. Besides that, what did everybody think about it? Did you guys like it? I mean, it was,
thumbs up.
I can't wait.
Yeah, dude, really cool. Remember May 4th that's coming out there. Jedi, what do you got? Anything good?
No, I'll watch it. Sure.
Yeah, Solo, let's tell people to get off their lawn and what was wrong with it.
No, I thought it was good. I thought it was a pretty good introduction. I thought they had a ton of clips. I was kind of, if I had anything to gripe about, I mean, I think they maybe showed a little bit too many clips. But man, I just every 2 seconds was another clip. I was like, holy cow, this is crazy. And it was just action. I mean, I was kind of blown away. I'll be honest. Like every 2-second clip was another action-packed clip. I was like, "Whoa, okay, this is going to be hot."
Before I go back to the chat, please ask me how long the first episode is going to be of playtime. Supposedly.
How long?
25 minutes.
Jedi, your guess?
4 hours. I heard it's a Snyder cut. I heard it's 4 hours long.
No, Pete, go close though. Closer than 25 minutes. Pete,
really? I was just gonna say 25. But
double?
Is it a full 30?
It's gonna be supposedly it's gonna be around 70 minutes.
Oh, nice.
Supposedly the run time is gonna be around 770.
Okay.
So like an hour, it's gonna be was 70 minutes. Somebody do the math real quickly.
What's an hour?
60 hours, 10 minutes, hour 15. Yeah, so like I have an hour and a half total. It's be an hour and 10, hour 15 minutes, hour 10 minutes of runtime. You know what I mean? Yeah. So like you're saying all this. That's exactly what I was thinking when you're saying all this action and giving away too much, dude. For an hour and 10 minutes for the first episode, mind you.
That sounds like 3 episodes. Then, basically, kind of packed together, like doing the Invincible platform. We'll show you 3 and then give you the rest.
That's awesome.
Hey,
I'm all in.
Hey,
awesome.
it's Easter. How about not crap on my Cheerios? It's 1 episode. You're still gonna give us 7 more episodes, and hopefully they'll all be 45 minutes playtime long. Okay, that's all I'm saying. It could be really cool if they did that. Cool.
All I know is the animation was smooth. It was gorgeous.
Do you guys think that they're making it longer, possibly because, like, I love the 7th season of Clone Wars, but people who didn't hear, like, all people I talked to haven't watched the 7th season of Clone Wars. So I wonder if since maybe the viewership wasn't as good as or where they wanted it, so let's just give them more in the beginning, right? To hook them.
Yeah, I don't know. After that second season of Mandalorian, and after everybody sticking through WandaVision, I don't think they care anymore.
So tell me, do you think we're going to get the words of wisdom at the beginning of every episode, so that Jen can tell us what they mean? Because
well, isn't it? It's not supposed to be Clone Wars season 8, but it kind of is, right?
It's true.
It's supposed to be something separate, but
yeah, it's like Hobbs and Shaw. It's not the next Fast and the Furious. It's a spinoff.
Clone Wars Volume 2,
right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm thinking. I'm debating if they should. I think I would like that. I think I'd like if they do those screens because they'd continue. Because like think about how many spinoffs then you could always do off the Clone Wars, right? So you can do the Bad Batch spinoff. Then you could do the Scum and Villainy. You could do Scum and Villainy break off. You could do.
Well, do you think they would do Dark Disciple?
Pirates.
Hey, look, guys.
I got to read that.
That would be nice, wouldn't it, Jen? If we could ever actually do a Dark Disciple review.
We'll do one too. Okay. Yeah. Now, thank you. We got the rabbit hole. Now we're just bringing up every single thing that we want. I got an okay with the 70 baby from JJ. Yeah, people are missing out. That's Phil. Phil, what's going on, bud? Hey, how'd that video go, by the way? Check out, if you guys aren't watching Renovision, I don't know what's wrong with you. Go over there, check out my boy.
Yeah, I had fun. Yeah.
I didn't see it. I saw the notes though. And I gotta say, whoever that one guy is, he's right. I'm pretty good. I mean, I don't know about the rest of y'all, but I'm pretty good.
JJ was there. Thank you for dropping in there, JJ.
I appreciate it. All right. So what else do we have? Can we move on to Obi-Wan casting?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, okay. Let's move on to Obi-Wan casting.
Are we gonna sign it? Can we sign it?
I didn't even
drink.
I didn't even drink today during the holidays. That's how good it is. Okay, Obi-Wan Kenobi casting. Now listen, we've seen it before. We've seen some stuff early on. We decided not to go. We were going to go quick, but then we wanted to let everybody else guess who was in here for a little bit. And so we'll help you out with some of these characters that we already know are cast because they were in the movie before. But either way, so just in case, you never know, because we thought everybody knew who was who, but we saw some things over this last week. Ewan McGregor, big spoiler alert, gonna play Obi-Wan.
Out. He is gonna do so good.
Gonna play Obi-Wan.
Oh, I'm excited for this.
Up next, oh my gosh, Hayden Christensen is gonna play Anakin. Oh, hey, here's the thing, and we'll tell you why here. We got some breadcrumbs for y'all to follow if you don't follow our IG. Also, these two, I guess, got people confused. Not cool.
You know, that Hayden Christensen looks just like the guy that played Darth Vader.
Oh, Jesus. So we're gonna have Owen here, and we're gonna have Aunt Boo.
I'm telling you, if you look really fast, you might confuse this for like a Parks and Rec thing because it kind of looks like Ron Swanson and Amy Poehler. But you look real fast.
It does.
And the actually, it's kind of cool if you look at it. There's literally nothing. She's holding nothing. She's holding a towel that they made a knot in there. So, but
it's Luke, man. Come on.
Yeah, or it's Luke Skywalker.
She's holding the chosen one, the true savior.
Getting ready to warm pegs everywhere.
So, just real quickly for everybody too, I put this up there, and it was just because we kind of had some questions early on. I kind of been mentioning it, and I think we kind of agree with this. And people are like, "Well, how are they going to do it? Darth Vader has to show up." And it's like, well, you do know unfortunately, if you've watched all the movies before, they've actually all met before as that. Like that's how they know him. They don't know him really as Darth Vader because they said he dies. Owen says the guy's dead. Doesn't know. Thinks he's dead. Well, supposedly thinks he's dead. Either way, he does know Anakin Skywalker. So it doesn't just have to be an Obi-Wan flashback. You can literally have Owen having flashbacks or, better yet, having scenes of them talking like they were in here so you can figure stuff out. Just saying, I mean, look, I'm always for Darth Vader, but if they don't have James Earl Jones doing Darth Vader voice, not my Vader, bro.
They did. They announced it. They said that James Earl Jones was going to do the Darth Vader voice.
That makes sense.
That would make sense then. Then we're going to get a little Vader.
Here's
this is how we're still having flashbacks of him.
Okay,
this is why you bring it back.
If it is a flashback and there's no casting for Padme because she's still around and she could play it.
Hey, do you see how she's already cut out of the screen right here?
Yeah,
she's already
that limits our timeline of the flashback, which I think is kind of
not
cool.
Necessarily. They worked around Natalie Portman not being on the set when they did Endgame. Like when they had her, they did back shot, stand in.
Or hey, you know what? They could spike the blue milk, and these two dudes could be hanging out over a moisture farm, just chilling like dudes do, and shooting the shit. Hey. You know,
going over to Toshi Station, get some power converter.
Yeah. Hey, they killed our mom. Could you go out there and slay some Raiders real quickly, you murderous bastard? I mean, they could do all that type of stuff. You don't know. You don't know, bro. You weren't in that boardroom. All right. So listen. Go ahead, Jedi.
Well, I was just saying, would it have to be any flashback? Would it have to be this visit, right? Because when Darth Vader goes back to in the comics, when he goes back to Tatooine to do his business with or his dealings with Jabba, doesn't he say that that's the first time he's been back or something?
Tatooine. Yeah, he does. And that's after the Death Star blew up. So, I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like he does reference that now who knows if he's lying or not, or like you could probably skip over that. I mean, probably you shouldn't, but it won't be the first time they retcon something. So, but yeah, no, Vader said they said he has to go back to that planet. Palp said something at one point, and it was around that time when he had to go back to the planet. So he hadn't been back to the planet till after the Death Star blew up, supposedly, but whatever. You could always throw something in. So yes, so it'd be hard for Darth Vader to go back to the planet. It would not be so hard to do an Anakin thing where you both have him and Obi-Wan having nightmares about him, because there's also a part in the journals where he has this like flashback of Qui-Gon Jinn talking about Anakin as he was younger, around this age and stuff like that, and like how he was the chosen one and all this other stuff. So you could have that.
So you're saying Anakin could have went back, and Darth Vader's just making the distinction he hasn't been back since he became Vader.
Yeah, yeah, okay, I think Anakin could have gone back. Yeah, okay. Or they could just play out the rest of this here so that you get more of a feeling, because you're going to introduce some people that maybe haven't watched the movies. Remember, in Mandalorian, people didn't know that Mandalorians take off their helmets. So you're thinking, we're all thinking of fans that know all this stuff. You have to think, you got to get the general public to understand the relationship between, if they didn't watch the movie, you have to have the, why is this character Owen important? Besides,
they don't deserve to watch the movies if they don't know.
I'm just saying.
Just kidding.
He raised whiny Luke and told him no a lot, and bought him a T-16 Skyhopper.
Well, I knew that Marco's hatred for Luke started when he was young. We established that before, but now he was a baby when that lady was holding him, and
he wasn't a baby. Look at it again. That is,
I know. The hatred started really. I didn't know it started that young.
No, it's just always a deep. All I'm saying is I like Luke as long as they don't keep doing deep fakes. Stop doing. They did it in this movie too. Stop it. Just knock it off. All right. When they should. That's all I'm saying. All right. Where were we? We were off the rails today. But I don't know. Hopefully it's going well. Hey, speaking of that, we had 20 people in the chat, or in watching live. Hopefully, you guys hit this bell. We've been told to tell everybody to hit the bell because people apparently are asking us why they're not getting our notifications. You actually have to hit the bell. You can't just hit the subscribe button. We know a lot of you subscribe. We appreciate it. Make sure you're hitting the subscribe button. Make sure you're also hitting the bell. Ding the bell. Hit it with the lightsaber, as Solo Wookiee says. And then feel free to give us the thumbs up. We do appreciate it. It helps out with something called an algorithm. Don't know what that is. Don't really care. But let's go back to right here where we're talking about the journals. These two books, for all those people who haven't caught up on one of our reviews of this or haven't caught up on this, it does seem like this is right around the timeline. They're talking about 9 BBY, 10 BBY, right around there. This stuff happens there. There's a lot of interesting things that happen in these two books. You should catch up on it. You should review it. We'll cover a little bit of it real quickly. In these two books, the one on the left, the one on the right, Ben is on Tatooine at the time. Luke is younger, obviously. He has a couple different run-ins. One, he has a run-in with the Jabba crew, Jabba the Hutt's crew, because they are pretty much turning water farming into like a gimmick because they did this big drought where they shut all the water down and they're robbing all the water farmers. Causes a little bit of incident. Luke Skywalker gets lippy with a couple of the characters. All of a sudden, Obi-Wan has to save him there. Owen gets in a big fight with also another way that they're probably going to have Uncle Owen there. He does get in a big fight with Kenobi. He tells Kenobi to get lost, leave him alone, because Luke at one time crashes. He's trying to show off, thinks he's a great pilot, crashes a plane real quickly, and Obi-Wan ends up working for the Jawas, defending him against the Tusken Raiders to be able to afford the parts to give to Luke, which Uncle Owen then throws in his face. At that same point, Jabba the Hutt hires Black K to hunt down the guy who beat up his thugs that Luke originally mouthed off to and got knocked out by. So he goes to hunt down Obi-Wan Kenobi. He does that by taking capture of Uncle Owen. Ant shows up there too at that point in that storyline. And Canasta loses an eye, Obi-Wan saves them all. Has a lot of stuff incorporated in there, and that'll play into a little bit of what we're going to talk about next when we try to think about some of the casting, because we know a little bit of the area and timeline where they're going to be around. We are not saying any of this is true, okay? None. We're just throwing some stuff out there, okay? So here we go. They have given us some of this casting, and I'm just going to say this first off. None of these people are going to play Dr. Aphra. Not one. And I'm willing to put.
It's not the right age, right?
Yeah, 12 years old. Doc Aphra, unless you could somehow make one of these people look 12. I know, Jed, I see it. I'll put $100 on it right now. Not one of them will be playing Doc Aphra, because Doc Aphra.
I'm writing down exactly what you say, because
okay. You can call me out on it later.
No, because that's what's going to happen. I'm just going to put it on record.
There we go. All right, put it on the record. All right, so, but some of these characters might play something. There's a couple interesting characters that are around this timeline that we haven't seen, but they've kind of been hinting at that might be around here. Here are two of them real quickly. I actually only gave you one of the Lartale sisters. There's actually two Lar sisters. There's one is Katie, which is the one you see here, and there's another one who is Maria. The description on them in the Ahsoka Tano book, they're two sisters. They have links to Bail Organa. They magically spent some time. One's a pilot. The other one's really cool because she becomes more of a rebel fighter. They joined the rebellion right around this time. And then they disappear on some secret mission. Now, that secret mission could be, I have a theory. It's a crazy one. But the secret mission could be making sure they go and check on the other twin real quickly. Because Bail kind of knows where the other twin is. That's been established. So he might have known that because these two might have then. There's two sisters there. Their description's a little iffy. Please read the either look them up. I'm not going to go over because I don't think it would sound right coming in from me what the description of these people are. I actually don't think this is a perfect description of this. This is obviously some fan art that has been made before. But you could do that either way with the Sand Snake lady and Simone as sisters, because that would be roughly around the age they would be there, the younger and the older sister, or Moses. She does, her appearance is pretty well. Either way, any of the appearance of these ladies would play into that game right there. So that's one. And the other one, go ahead, Solo Wookie, because if I refuse to put this person on here, Solo Wookie would just be screaming about it in the afternoon.
They didn't announce Jane Lynch in the cast, so that can't be her.
That's not Solo Wookie. Could you please tell us who the other option that there's a possibility it could be this person?
I almost don't want to say the Dark Woman, I don't, but
you say it all the time, like literally all the time.
Well, I mean, it's really with that storyline, and then we see that Outlander and the way it ties together, it really tie in easy, so that you got the Dark Woman, and then you have Rashad and Rashad and the Hut.
Whoa, slow down.
And then it all ties in together, man.
I didn't want you to get all into it. So, with that being said, those are some of the options for all those people that are trying to speculate on the two sisters. Good luck, because it only shows up in the Ahsoka Tano book, and it would be an intro in here. Now, with that being said, they did a little bit of a spin playoff, because originally, if you know, season 7 of the Clone Wars was originally supposed to be 2 boys. They made them into 2 girls.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But it wasn't those 2 girls. These 2 girls were on a planet that ended up getting raided early on in the Galactic Empire when they were taking over, and Tana. So between where she is in the Mandalorian right now, and when she left season 7, she goes to this planet and meets these 2 girls, and these 2 girls then. So that's the story with them. Or 2 women. One is a woman for sure, and whatever, females, whatever. All right, and then next we have got the boys section of this, or the men's section, I guess we can call them men too. This is very interesting. I love it. We got Kumar. I love him. I think he's funny. I actually had a different theory on who O'Shea Jackson was going to play, and then as it went on, I asked a bunch of people, and I thought he was too big of a talent to waste it, and I asked everybody, and everybody told me I was stupid. They would not waste that big of a name and a talent on that character. So I said, yeah, you might be right. But we could throw some things out there, maybe a couple of characters that they might actually play, and here we go.
Do we know how tall O'Shea is?
That's not who I'm going with anymore. I'm not going with him as playing that character anymore.
He's not that tall anymore, is he? He's kind of short.
Anymore. He's like 6'2". 6. I don't know.
Is he
6'2"?
6'6"?
No, he's not. Ice Cube's like 5'9".
Yeah. Well, that's what I was thinking. Is that he's not?
Either way,
that tall.
what was a good day? Isn't he? Well, whatever. Anyways, so there's some people that might show up. If you read the journals, you know that Black K was there hired by him, so we could have one of the actors playing Black K. We do think it would be a waste for the majority of those actors to play that character because it's a lot of growling, unless they did some weird thing where he's got a voice changer box or something to go to English. This would be something they would have to add into it. You know they could do it because they do stuff like that all the time.
They paid Vin Diesel to say, "I am Groot."
Yeah.
Just saying.
Yeah. But they all, and they had a talking record. Yeah. So that could be somebody. Also, too, I really do think they're going to bring Peggett Rook back just because of he has a lot to do in this timeline. He's kind of like an underling for Jabba that goes around and harasses towns. And him and Obi-Wan have a lot of back and forth going together. I wouldn't be surprised to see either
Danny Trejo.
Oh, Jesus Christ, he does look like Danny Trejo. I'm going to tell Danny Trejo you said that, by the way. That dude is legit a tough dude. That dude is. I met that dude. Very nice.
He's been on a lot lately. I've been watching Heat. That's been on cable a lot. So.
Oh, he's a tough dude. That dude, he's no joke.
I know.
Nice though. He's a very nice guy. Anyways, so Jesus Christ.
Sorry.
It's all right. Jeez, man, you had to crush him like that. And then these are a couple other characters that might actually show up that we might think there. It's not IT Man.
Ip Man,
whatever. There's a lot of stuff that's coming out in previews and everything else, and a lot of references that they're making to the Wills. And this would put me right in the timeline where he would be going to Jihad. So like he would be in between the timeline where he could be traveling at this point, because they actually were traveling for a while before the planet started to get torn apart to get the kyber crystals, because that's what they were really doing on that planet. They were tearing apart to take out all the kyber crystals. I know they blew it up and you had Saw Gerrera on there and everything like that, but the reason why they were there too was the temple, because they were actually harvesting crystals. And then, because we did mention, we'd be remiss if we didn't mention, because we mentioned the Dark Woman, if we didn't mention Sharad Het, the son of Sharad Het, and he becomes Darth Krayt. We all know that. This is what he kind of looks like throughout the comic books. He does fight Obi-Wan Kenobi in the Legacy series, but in the other series, he is trained, as you see in the bottom picture, he's trained by the Dark Woman. The only reason we think there's a connection between the two is because in that one journal book, there definitely is something going back and forth, and there's definitely some big clan movement between the Tusken Raiders versus the Jawas. That mirrors stuff that happened in the Dark Horse comics right around the Outlander time period. And that's the only reason why we bring this up. Do we wish he'd be there? Sure, we're fan favorites of the character. Obviously, early on we were big promoters of this one and of the Dark Woman, because I think Solo Wookiee has a crush. I don't know why. Maybe she looks like his mom. I don't know what it is.
She's just a really
solid. You like Jane Lynch?
She's a solid character, and she explains some of the great Jedi aspects, because she has a problem like Ahsoka and everybody else with the Jedi Council, and it's a good storyline. I like the gal. The one gal from Game of Thrones in the middle, I think she'd knock it out of the park with that role.
Yeah, the Sand Snake lady. Yeah. I mean, I think she would too. Just throwing it out there. We're not saying that any of these are. We were saying in the beginning part that all those were, because we showed you pictures of who they were.
Know who they are. Yeah,
just to cut. Yeah, those people were already cast. But these are some things that you can go out there and look for and kind of go at. Some of it might be fan fiction. Really, the Asharad Het, the Asharad Het stuff, I think and so is the Dark Woman. A little bit of fan fiction on us, but also great characters that we'd love to see come through.
Can you go back to the guys again?
I can. Let's look at these boys. Who do we have? We've got some good guys in here.
Do you think any of them could play Hondo?
Oh. No.
Well, they don't have the voice. But...
no. Maybe. And maybe. I don't know Benny Safid, so I don't know it. Does anybody know who that guy is? What he was in? Is that Snook behind him? Wait, there's the key. There's Snook right behind him. Snook's right behind him.
Oh.
So maybe he's gonna play a young Snook.
Yeah, wait a sec. Yeah, that
No.
that Benny guy. He was the slow brother in that Good Time, I think it was called, the Robert Pattinson movie. It's actually a very good movie. I think he played the slow brother that Robert Pattinson was looking after, and he was trying to bust him out of prison. He's actually pretty good, and that's a good movie. Good Time. If you haven't seen it, what made me believe he could be Batman. That's all I'm gonna say.
VK on comics. I'm not sure. He says a good call on Hondo. Maybe right here. I don't think so. That's he doesn't have that grit in his voice.
He doesn't, but he could be.
Doesn't he have like he's
humor.
got like a lisp, but he's got like a lispy thing.
No, I don't think. I don't know. Maybe. Who knows?
Yes, he does. Go watch that. That guy's got like a little lisp thing going on.
He does. The voice doesn't match up, but the tone and the personality could fit. Like the personality.
Who are we talking about? Which one? The
Camille, the guy that's
Camille.
in the guy that's in
Silicon Valley.
Yeah,
the guy at the top left. Yeah,
with doing the half rock eyebrow. Yes.
Yeah. No, I think he could do. I think he could do Hondo.
Hondo.
Yeah, I think he could.
Look, we don't know anybody at Star Wars, right? We have no hidden connections, but it'd be cool if they did.
No, it would definitely
He's
be cool
the
if
only
Hondo
one.
shows up. Hondo would be cool.
Rupert could totally do Hondo.
No, yeah, Rupert could do Hondo, man. Rupert
He
could do
can
Hondo.
nail it.
Yeah, he would nail it. Rupert could. And if Daddy Ice Cube came, maybe Daddy Ice Cube could be in too, because he's that type of dude.
I mean, we could go full on Rebels and go back to the girls and figure, is one of them Harrison Dula? I don't know, maybe.
Oh.
Yeah.
Hmm.
No.
No.
Nice to be Hondo.
Hey,
She
which
was
one? But
name-dropping
can we
Rogue
go
One.
back? Can we go back and find out which one's Sabine Wren, though? If we could do that, I'd appreciate it.
No. Remember, Hera's still very involved
tease
with
us.
rebellion.
So which one of this? Which one of this is going to be Darth Raven? Is all I need to know. Which guy here is going to be Darth Raven, and then we'll be good. And then
None of them are Revan.
What about Thrawn? Do we got Thrawn? No. Okay. Anyways, so that's what we got there. Hopefully, we do get a Hondo, though. I know you like Hondo too, but you can't have it all. You're already going to get maybe Cass and
Could Han play Hondo?
Huh?
Han from Fast and the Furious? He could be Hondo.
Yeah, he could.
He doesn't talk much. Maybe he'll walk around eating chips like the whole time.
Indira Varma. That's her name. Indira Varma.
That is the guy. That's Han. Yeah, that'd be cool. He could do that, I guess. Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I don't think he could do the voice. Nobody could do that voice.
Hey, can I just throw one thing out there real quick?
Yes, go ahead.
Because I know this came up in a post conversation for one of our previous shows. The scar on Black Canasta did not come from a rock. It came from Ben's lightsaber.
Did it? You sure?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. So there was a scene. Now he did throw some rocks and stuff using the Force at him, but there was a point where he had knocked down Ben and Canasta. If I'm saying, he picked up a rock, and he had picked up a rock and was going to hit Kenobi, and Kenobi does a little Jedi flip, slices the boulder with his lightsaber, and grazes his eye.
Thanks for exposing the fact that I do all those reviews off memory and I don't go back and read the books.
No, I just wanted to.
Thanks a lot.
I didn't know who else you were spreading those lies to, so I just wanted to.
You know, you guys, everyone else could read those books.
Chrysanthemum.
Whatever, Black. That's why I call him Blake K too, because
like an old lady.
I can't say his name.
Chrysanthemum.
I apologize if I've insulted anybody by mispronouncing his name.
I've tried to say his name before. I gave up on it a long time. All right, so are we done with all the speculation of who? I think we've named every single person in Star Wars.
I do really want to hear "I'm one with the Force." The Force is with me again, though.
Yeah, I mean, if they do like a younger version or something to that effect, I mean, it could be him. It could be the guy that shoots the guy. I mean, who knows? You never know, man.
Oh,
it could be.
Dude, that could be that guy from Fast and the Furious. Could play young him, right?
That's kind of what I was hinting at. Yes.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
I mean, he could eat some chips and say, "That's what I'm." I mean, you give him the blue eyes, and he's got longer hair instead of shorter hair, or shorter hair at the time. You don't know what he looks like.
I don't know. Dude's pretty tall though. Like Han's pretty tall.
That's true.
Yeah, because you can't use a camera angle to shoot a guy. I mean, Tom Cruise looks like he's 7 feet tall. He's 4'2". So, I mean, okay. All right. And technology. Moving on. All right. So, did we have anything easily? Does anybody have anything?
Gosh, that's right. Quinlan Bosch would be awesome.
Bill got to throw it out there.
We had to have a quill. There you go. Yep, Phil doing great job, and we got this one too. We got a Darth Vader.
I did not say Quinlan Bosch. I held it in. I held it in.
We do think they are playing a Tusken Raider. We wanted to throw Crate out there because we just wanted to throw Crate out there. Yeah, I think we're gonna have some Hutts in there. I think we're gonna get to see some Jabba, which is gonna be cool. I mean, it's how do you go to Tatooine, and he's hunted at this point by Jabba, even if it ends up going after the effect of when they send Black K after, because at the end of the storyline, and then Jedi can read the comic books, come back and correct me because I'll probably be wrong, but if I remember correctly, Black K just took off and left the planet after he almost lost the eye and stuff because he lost the battle, and he knew that Jabba was going to get him because he did not fulfill the bounty and left. So Jabba is still looking for Obi-Wan.
Like you said, he was pretty beat up. Like he was not doing well. He limped back to the ship, if I remember correctly.
I agree.
Everyone in the chat, Marco he's telling the truth on that one.
Do you guys think that we're going to see what happens to Stinky?
Oh, that was so cool. Stinky showed up. Yeah, Stinky, Jabba's kid.
That's a good point. That's a good question. We could see a little Stinky.
Well, maybe I got it wrong, and maybe he actually isn't playing Uncle Owen. Maybe technically Joel is playing Stinky, and we just don't know yet.
What if the ultimate dupe? 3 of those guys are playing Jabba the Hutt, and we see the puppet took like 3-4 dudes to operate. So okay. I'm just saying.
Okay.
Can I say one more thing?
Yeah.
So in the comics, there are arcs, and it depends on how they do the story with the journals, if they do the journals, right? But Luke is reading stories that Obi-Wan has documented, and there's actually Yoda stories in there where he's telling stories about Yoda and his adventures and things that he's done. So maybe we'll get some Yoda in there. I don't know. It depends on who knows.
Very possible.
Yeah, no, I mean that's definitely a possibility. We could get tons of stuff in there. I don't know what we're gonna get in there. I mean, that's one person we haven't thrown out there. So now we have Yoda. We've got Revan. We've got who else do we have?
Grogu.
Any of these actors
in there. Baby
like
Yoda.
impressions?
Impressions of what?
Because I'm just saying, like, remember the dude, what is this, Russ, the guy from Walking Dead who recast as Red Skull? Like, nobody would have guessed that just because he can do a really good Red Skull Hugo Weaving impersonation because he can do impressions. Like, you never know. They could cast somebody just because they can do good impressions, and they need somebody to do a voice. They couldn't find somebody to do Salacious Crumb, so they had to bring in Rupert Friend because he does an awesome Salacious Crumb impression. I don't know. Just saying.
I would have a feeling just because of what the publications are putting out there with the War of Bounty Hunters and inclusive with some of the other stuff like the wills that's going to be in the free book and some of the other stuff that maybe they'll link up a couple of things because Jabba is also there too. And eventually, I think 10 years down the road, we're probably going to I think there might be a big outcry for the Dr. Aphra, and you have to introduce her and you have to explain why there is that Chewbacca isn't the only Wookiee in the whole universe because people don't know that. Like it's that's the one thing you got to think about all the time. Like when we're casting some of this stuff. And I think that's like last year when they were yelling about all the stuff that was going to happen in Mandalorian and like Ahsoka Tano is going to be on Tatooine and she's going to be fighting and Luke's going to be there. And we're like, yeah, but that's fan. Like that's not happening because it just isn't. Yeah, sure. Did they put Luke there as a deep fake? Yeah, I get it. Was Ahsoka there? Or yes, but she wasn't fighting in a bar in Tatooine and killing the guy that said no droids allowed. Like that just didn't happen. So I think we got to think sometimes out of the box and go like, well, if you had to explain it to somebody who doesn't know anything about this, which is what they want, because their goal right now, they're at 100 million viewerships across Disney Plus. They want it to be in 2 years. They want to get it up to 200, half a billion, I think, or is it $250 million? Either way, they want to more than double it. To do that, you have to bring in people who will watch your original programming, who don't feel left out, and will feel accepted and can follow the
all
pace.
those movies are available, like with the subscription. They could all go watch. I don't know, was it Attack of the Clones or was it Revenge of the Jedi when they hit Kashyyyk? Like which one where, yeah, Dirge.
Speaking of that, go watch Peace Dirge movie. I think we've named everybody at this point, so that's good. We're good.
No, we left out Malik.
We left out Mephisto. Where's Mephisto?
And Mephisto.
And
I am
Cat Bane.
glad too. By the way, if you guys didn't hear the news, they did all that stuff's back on. We're actually gonna start reviewing some of that stuff. That's why we're taking a little break from Clone Wars next week. So we're gonna start reviewing all that stuff. Did you get the thumbs up for what? Jedi, you're on mute.
Yeah, no, I wasn't saying anything other than damn, I'm not going to be here next week. But no, I watched the my best friend Wookiee, the little short Chewbacca thing, just because it was so short. I went ahead and watched it. Now it said that was 2001. Is that something new that they made and they just used the same animation style as it looked like it was an old show, but on the tag what was the name of it? Someone help me out. That little
Wookiee.
I think they remastered it.
Remastered it. Okay.
For which one?
I know the little short one about Chewbacca, where Chewbacca he's trying.
Wookiee.
Han is friendly Wookiee. Han's hanging upside down because he's got some virus or something like that.
That's the Christmas in the middle of the Christmas special, isn't it?
No.
That's what
There's another new
Anyway.
that old one that came out along with the whole Ewoks and all that little stuff, and then they turn around and they redid it and re-edited it, and recolored it, and re-released it, and now they've just released it. I believe we're going to talk about all that new stuff.
Oh, when are we talking about all the new stuff?
The Gandhi, the release with
next week.
Gandhi
Yeah.
Ewoks and all
The next
of
couple
that.
weeks. Try to carry that over to May to try to get us through some more of that fun stuff. And they'll probably release a couple of things too so that we can get through it. All right. I think that's good for I love the Ewok movies too. Zeb. Oh, Zeb's gonna show up too. Yes, Zeb could show up. If we're gonna have Black Haze, Zeb could show up. The Grand Inquisitors said what is this one, JJ? JJ, why don't you just jump on? You can ask us all these questions. Someone said Grand Inquisitors earlier, but they could easily introduce the other Inquisitors. No-ish, maybe. It would be kind of tough, but because there's some place like they're getting their body parts cut off right now. There is 10, and there's 2. Isn't there 2 we don't know about, JJ? I think like 2 of them died someplace. All right. So what do we have next? Anybody?
3 episodes of the Clone Wars still left to
Excellent.
do.
Do we have those to pull up, Pete?
Yeah, the stills are there. I'll have to I got the videos here.
Go to the stills then. Oh wait, before we do that, guess what we have?
The bracket.
I just heard for somebody said they just went back and watched all 3 because they caught some of one of them and they thought it was so great, and they told me this was one of the best shows that they've ever seen before. If you haven't been watching it on Wednesdays, Jen would agree. Jen is a big fan of the show too.
Well, considering it's on Thursdays, it would be a real trick to be watching it on Wednesdays.
Well, I'm talking about watch the repeats on Wednesdays, and then Thursday you'll watch the live show. Smart.
She better be a fan as much as I paid her for those damn votes.
Yeah. Okay, here we are. We're down to this portion of the brackets now. We're getting really close
you
there.
got backwards.
I'm supposed to show everybody. Wait, I did what now?
I don't know. Those were all messed up.
This is why I'm not supposed to be running this.
Yeah, don't run them because again, I couldn't finish it before we started.
What happened here? Can we just say who the winners are?
You can. Just
okay.
stop.
I'm stopping.
Stop.
Pete's got to handle this.
Okay.
Pete, please handle this.
Well, there's the bracket. We're doing the right side of the bracket.
Yeah, we did the right side of the bracket. Yes.
Yeah. First matchup, we had R2 and L3. And you probably already saw the slide because I think Marco clicked on all of them.
Yeah, I did. I was like a little kid just pressing buttons. Old man.
Yeah, R2 did happen to win that one. I tried to get it all with the brutalities, fatalities, but
it was a good run with L3. She had a good run, but R2 deserved it. He deserved the win.
And then after that one, the next matchup, we had the Mouse Droid and IG-11, not IG-88, and IG pulled it out.
IG did it. Not so close, but close enough. That was a pretty big.
Oh, that one was, I think.
That was like 3 votes for Mouse, and they took the 12 votes for IG. So there you go. That actually means that number 5 advanced too. That was like a double. That was a win-loss situation because it was JJ Maxwell versus Solo Wookiee back to back. Therefore, whoever won that match, the opposite person won the other match because it was a tie from 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
So We haven't.
Yeah, push Wally, Johnny Five on the other side over.
Which makes Jen very happy because I was in Jen's favorite.
And we have R5D4 and fan favorite CB23. And I think the counts, the polls are still running. The count's still coming in. But right now,
yeah,
I think CB23 is eking out a victory.
Up by 4 votes at this point, so it would take a miracle. It would take a lot. I mean, usually most of the votes are in at this point. So there we go. What else do we have?
And then the last one, Chopper and the torture droid Chopper moves on.
Chopper, yeah, that's a home run there. But it wasn't because of my arguing. It really wasn't. It was because everybody likes that droid and they just weren't going to let him lose. Please check that out on Thursday. Please go back and check out some of the other episodes. Originally, 23 came out. That was Steve Horn, and he did such a good job that each week everybody's been stepping up. Now, this last week, people are making their own little movies and programs and promo spots, and they're writing out scripts. It's getting to the point of ridiculousness, but it's very enjoyable, I think. I hope. Obviously, somebody likes it. I don't know who's liking it, but people are really liking it. So that's what I hear. That's the word on the street. I don't know. Maybe I should quiz people if they watch it or not. But people have said they liked it, and they actually reference it, so they had to watch it. But mainly they talk about everybody else's droids, not mine. Here we go. So we've got some Clone Wars. I will get into a couple other things real quickly. I want to read some comments real quickly. Palpatine's clone is Chi Omega. Okay, what do we have anything else good real quickly? Are we setting up? Let's set up the stuff for Clone Wars real quickly, and we can get into that. Disney Plus, JJ.
I'm ready to roll with Clone Wars once we are.
Yeah, the Kenobi thing that JJ was talking about, that's actually where we got some of the art for that one where you saw Kenobi fighting Asherad Het before he became Darth Krayt. And they had done a whole timeline there. But around that time period, too, also in Legacies, in Legends, around the 9-10, when they were doing that portion of it, because didn't that part of Legacies happen later? That was actually probably around, I think, 7 BBY. What happened around 9, I think Luke Skywalker got sick because he, like, a Krayt dragon passed gassed and gave him, like, pink eye or something like that. No, I swear to God, something to that.
Pink eye. That's how you get pink eye.
Wasn't pink eye. He got like some lung sand disease or something, lung sand fever disease or something to that effect. Look, man, all that Dark Horse stuff. I love it when people are like, "That's the greatest stuff ever." I'm like, no, some of it was not that good. I mean, it was funny, but
I just realized I think I should have been a writer for Dark Horse.
Yeah,
based on some of my C-3PO fan fiction.
No, that show, that March Madness show, we could literally all be writing for Dark Horse at this point. Because that's what a lot of that Dark Horse stuff was. Cool. So let's go. What do we got here? Let's start it off. Let's get Jen with her portion of it. We are on what? Are we on 20?
Yep.
Thank God I watched number 20. All right, here we go. Season 1, episode 20. Innocence of Ryloth. We're going to be on Ryloth. For those people that don't know, yes, that is, you're thinking about Hera. That is the planet she's from. Her dad was reading. And yes. Okay, good.
He's picking up from the last episode that we left off.
Yeah, I know, but we got some people in the chat here. A lot more people chatty today.
All right, well, I'm just saying.
Call us the call. Jen, please.
Yes, that's her job, not yours.
The cost of war can never be truly accounted for.
Is this episode the right answer for that question? Because I feel like it's not. But let's go through it. Let's see what we got here, Pete. There might be another couple answers there. Okay, so here we go. We've got them there. Yep, see, they're all there. All of them are tied up. We've got the Separatist army over them. It's really sad. This was I will say that it was tough. The blockade had just been broken, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this was a tough one.
This was kind of tough, especially having some of the kids in there and going over some of these harder topics for these 3 episodes, because it really does have to do a lot, like, of what happens. You know, we've talked about before in Clone Wars how they try to give you the perspective from, like, the one side, from both sides, right? They also try to give you the perspective from the clones, both sides of the clones too. Those that were kind of like, hey, we'll just go into it blindly, and those that weren't. They try to give you a little bit of the general stuff. We do get Mace Windu in here. And by the way, the droid, the probe droids, man, they used a lot of probe droids. Okay.
Yeah.
We get a little bit here, backing of the attack. I hate that droid. That's the droid I just hate. I hate that droid. We get this young lady back again too. That is not Hera, for those people that are wondering. Still not Hera.
Yeah.
I can find her name
pause for a second
if you want. Do you want me to pause for a second?
I got it. I can
Hera in the Clone Wars.
She was in the Clone Wars earlier. Yeah, she's actually she's in my trusty guide of the characters encyclopedia to Clone Wars. You can find these at your trusty resale thing for like $2-3. I think this one. Well, sorry, you might be able to find it for $3.95. So you know where you can buy this. This has gotten good use out of it. She's kind of cool. I do like this part too because they show you like inside. This kind of reminded me of like, I don't know, whatever. Kind of reminded me of
like tough. Like seeing her skinny little arms. Like this was.
Yeah, it was sad. Her name is Numa. Okay, that is her. So that is not Hera. And her dad has got a greenish tone of skin too. She ends up actually taking them around and taking the clones around and skipping so they didn't get caught. And yeah, she's like scared. I like it because
Mara.
Yeah, she kept saying Mara about the two of them. One of the clones really cared and was trying to do it.
The bald one up front.
Waxer.
I can't remember.
Character. Waxer is the character. And the other one, do you know the other one's name?
Isn't it Boyle?
Might be. Sounds right.
Yeah.
Did not care
the
so
other
much.
One was tough. He was throwing like some racial slurs, I think, at the Twi'leks.
I don't think he was. I think he was. I
don't know. I would probably be offended being called a tailhead if I was a Twi'lek.
Oh yeah.
I think he's just jaded, right? Like he's just like, nah, I'm good.
I don't know. He didn't want to be there.
Yeah.
No, he just wanted to do his mission and get it over. Like I understand that too. Like you just don't want to get to know the people because you got to think about it. You've seen a lot of people die at this point. Like
that's true.
And you know the civilian population. She's just out. Look at her. She looks sad. Like she's out there by herself. There's your skinny bones right there. It's falling off. Like
rough.
You know, there's other parts where you talk to some vets where they would go into things like a camp and something and talk, and they just didn't want to talk and deal with the people because they couldn't deal with the humanity because they break down. They get confused with the mission. So I that's how I took it. And then she's like bringing the humanity back to him. She's making sure that, and then she teaches him how to go through the tunnels, right?
Yeah, she gives him the way out.
Yeah, the way out so they can get away without getting killed and going through tunnels. And there he goes. And then they get trapped. Oh, and she's got the little star. Isn't that funny? Did you guys notice what that character was? Where did you guys see it before?
The toy?
Yeah. Like if you go back and look at Thrawn. No, if you go back and look at Thrawn, if you go look at Thrawn's like recording room when he's doing the Hera scene and everything like that, they reference that figure. Not in that purple and gray, obviously, type thing when they're talking about the heritage. We get some more blurgs in there. And then Obi-Wan comes down and goes, yes, little one. Obi-Wan's good. You know, the one problem is, and it's because we've watched all three of these and we shouldn't say it now, but we're going to say it eventually, is you get to see Mace Windu and you get to see the difference between the Jedis and Mace Windu. I do not buy that Mace Windu let Anakin get away with that and got thrown out the window. Now, I've never felt more confident that Mace Windu is still alive at this point than I did after a couple of these episodes. That is BA, man. I wonder if
that was. It was also beautifully done how they did with it. Drop the sound out. Well, we'll get to that when we get to that episode. But
yeah, so then here they go. All of a sudden, they start to fight back. We know that this is going to happen. This is kind of cool because they were in a tough pickle. Oh no, her dad's got blue skin. Thought he had green. Either way. So then here's dad has orange, correct? If I remember.
So her mom was probably yellow.
Is that how that works? I don't know if that's how that works.
Yeah,
there you go.
Yellow,
look,
blue,
hey,
green.
Ripped the head off. Thank you for ripping the head off of that droid. I really do appreciate it. Now they bring in another one anyways. The technician droids. Say goodbye. Pretty good episode. And yes. Oh, there you go. Who did that?
I did that.
Oh, nice. You're reading Jen's mind. So what Jen was saying about the word that they used earlier, Jen, what was that word?
Mara.
Mara was because it meant brother, and they revealed that at the end. Can we put up the saying again? Jen, could you break down what the saying had to do with this episode?
The costs of war can never be truly accounted for. I think because you're just seeing the little emaciated girl and you're like, oh shoot, this is not, oh. And then in it, I'm pretty sure, wait, this is the episode where they started bombing the cities, right? That had civilians in it.
Yep.
They weren't even going for strategic.
No, that was the last episode.
That's the next one.
No, crap.
It's okay. You gave it away already. Yep. No. So yeah, that's that is good. That's why I say that. Yeah. Spoiler alert. You're 20 years past your time watching this if you missed it. But there are some people that are watching it for the first time.
I am. A lot of these I am.
So anyways, it was good. Like I said, I think that had more to do. See, that's why like when you asked about the cards, I was thinking, and I was kind of doing a pause like, man, some of these cards didn't make any sense anyways. Do we really want the cards back? Because like, doesn't matter. I don't know.
It's fun. It's nice. It's kind of an extra little bit to see which ones are good and which ones are bad. Because some of them, like this one, I kind of understand what they're trying to say. the cost of war, you can't, even when the war's over, you still have a lot there. You still have a lot of that memory. You can't, it takes a long time to heal that.
Oh, I just got it. It just hit me in the head. The cost of war. The one clone lost the fact of humanity because he's just trying to get the job done.
Yeah.
And like that could be the cost of war.
Yeah, he warmed up eventually to the little girl.
And so he got it back, but that could be the cost of war, is losing the humanity of it. No, that's probably crap, but whatever. Okay.
No, I'm on board.
I think you're real close. I mean, that's the main story point in that one, is showing that, just like you were saying, the troops often do have to go in and try and stay vigilant and hard, and they did have a hard time in those positions, and they didn't want to help. They just wanted to go in and get done and not lose their edge, not become humane. And when you're saving a little girl's life, I mean, you become humane. There's no way around it. You do.
Mm-hmm.
And in the end, they were better guys for it.
That is a true point. So actually, Solo, since you just gave that great monologue, which surprised me, but it is Easter, so miracles happen. So Wookie, could you give us a rating on that episode, please? We do the helmet rating.
I really like this episode. Many good things I think are done in this episode. I think the storytelling is pretty clean. I think some of the way it goes, I think we've seen in a lot of movies and other stories before, but I still thought they did a pretty good job. I like this one. It's a 4 all day.
Whoa! Thank you, Solo. 4 for Solo. All right. Jen, I'm in shock and awe. Jen, give it to me. What do we got?
If I'm a 4, she's going like 11.
No, I'm a 4 too.
Oh, 4. There you go. All right, Jen, 4.
I mean, I really liked the little girl and her surviving outside where her family was, and understanding and knowing the droids versus like the monsters coming, also animals, whatever you want to call them, coming. And then I also like how it took them taking off their helmets for her. Oh, it was kind of one of those like Spider-Man moments where it's like they get kind of scared and no, I have a human face. Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Even though it wouldn't be the same face as hers, so she might not know.
No, but it's still like
it's not a robot. It's not a droid.
I guess they would look kind of droid-like with the helmets on.
Yeah.
And then it was cool to see at the end the people like rebelling.
I did. I like that. Rip off the head of them. All right, cool. 4 it is. Pete.
I'm going to go a little bit extra. I'm going to go 4.5 on this one.
Oh.
The reason why is, I don't know, for whatever reason, that brother thing, it got me like a little misty there at the end. I was just like, I don't know, just from the whole, just putting it all together and just how the clones feel about one another and just the whole thing, like it almost got me. I was like, it was like Marley and me. I was just like, yeah.
Nice.
I don't know. I like this episode. I thought it was pretty good. It was pretty
Don't say it, Solo. Don't say it. Do not say it. I will mute you. All right. Well, good stuff. 4.5. There it goes. Jedi, do we have an opinion on this episode?
I'm not gonna give it in. I'm not gonna rate it because I don't want to skew your scores.
No. Yeah.
But no, I liked it. I thought I thought the little words of wisdom, as I call them, I thought it applied to the show. To me, I thought it kind of, you always have the third, fourth order effects of battle. It's not just one army versus the other. There's always other elements, always other factors. And like you guys were saying, sometimes you don't know who to trust. So, and that can warp your opinion of somebody, like you saw with the one trooper to the little girl, or even her people. Do you trust them? Do you not trust them? It's just, I thought it was good, but I'm not going to rate it.
Yeah, fair enough.
Boba Fett wasn't in it, so it wouldn't.
So I'm gonna give it the 4 too. I'm down with the 4 crew, and maybe it's a little bit because if you watch it in the order, the last couple we did have a little bit of issues for going backwards, and then this one started to give it back to us. Kind of was the middle piece, the arc piece, the empire of the show. All the stuff was said already, especially considering I did a lot of the early on stuff. But I was gonna give it 3.5, but when they ripped the command droid's head off, that 4, easy 4. All right.
The
so
girl
next
kind of reminds me a little bit of Newt.
What?
I forgot to bring that up.
Mind you, what?
Newt
From Aliens, yeah.
from Aliens.
Oh, sorry, I didn't have my headphones on. I couldn't hear you.
That's all right.
S1 season 1 episode 21 Liberty. So this is the last part of the 3-part arc. We just jammed these in so that we could really just get on all the stuff that dropped on
Well, this wraps up season 1.
It does perfectly with the bow. Jen?
Compromise is a virtue to be cultivated, not a weakness to be despised. Compromise, right? If you go with The Office, what was the win? It was compromise? Yeah, compromising is win-win-win.
Yeah. Okay, let's go through this episode and you can tell me how
I was trying to find it, though, where that compromise happens here. And
yeah, I don't know where it happens in this episode because it didn't seem like a lot.
It's when they're standing there and he's talking to the hologram. And they make the deal. And Mace is like, broker.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, except for they're yelling at each other. Okay, so we finally get the Mace arc or little portion of this. There he is. Mace is going out there. This is the one thing I'll say about Mace Windu. Everybody else, like you need Cody and a whole battalion with you. Yoda's got a whole battalion with him. Anakin's got like 3 battalions with him. Mace's got like 2 dudes. 2 dudes.
Lightning Squadron.
Just some dudes too. Just like, hey guys, you too.
Well, he usually ends up. Doesn't he usually end up fighting with the people he goes out there with?
Yeah, he's not. It's not even Cody or Rex or any like. You're exactly right. It's just like 2 regular dudes.
Well, it was
like
3 dudes because the 3rd dude brought Mace's ride, and then was like, "All right, here you go, sir."
Yeah, he brought Mace. Yeah, it was 3 guys and turned into dude too. He's like, wait, he goes, I'm done walking. Give me that, and you 2 dudes come with me.
You go ahead,
because I like those things. So we're back there. They're deciding that this planet is not good for them anymore. They're not going to be able, because Mace Windu hit here. Watto is not going to be able to beat them. Actually, that was kind of interesting. It was very interesting how Dooku talked to him, because we've dealt with the Dooku situation in the past. I got it. We've dealt with the Dooku situation in the past, and how he dealt with Grievous with losses. You know, he actually set Grievous up after a couple of losses. He said a lot. When he's talking to Watto, he's just as like he's like, you know what? Just cut your losses. You're not gonna beat these guys. Like, he doesn't force them. You'd figured he'd like want him to die and force to get the robot out of there, but he's like, no, get out of there as soon as possible. And this is what Jen was talking about. He says, by the way, decimate the whole planet, pretty much, kill all the villages off, so that. And then they're like, well, why would you do that? And he goes, well, when people see what it costs for Republic victory, as in what it takes to chase the separatists away, there's nothing left. Do you really want that, or do you want to live under our thumb? It was very interesting. It's so interesting how they get these point of views. Obviously, I've never been in war before, but like, I don't know. It seems like they really, somebody who's really into history or really had enjoyed that type of portion of war and both sides of it, really got the deep dive, really got the feel for.
They always, you hear sometimes in war, like salt the earth.
Yeah. Salt the earth. So yeah, that sounds like what they were doing was trying to salt the earth. Tam, great character. He just kind of floats too. So Mace Windu has to go try to make a deal. So now he's got 2 dudes, and he's like, I need more than 2 dudes. I'm gonna go try to make a deal with this guy. And it turns out that the guy is who?
Syndulla,
and we know that name because it's Hera's last name.
Cham or Sham?
Sham, yeah. And that's him right there. And Sham is Sham doesn't really trust a lot of people. He thinks that he just is like, hey, listen. And he tells the story too. He's like, listen, you guys were supposed to be here already. It's that same old story we've heard before. Mace is trying to broker peace between him and the guy that's the senator from this, who is sitting in Coruscant right now.
Well, we saw them there before, right?
Yeah, one of the link ups. Yeah, we probably watched this a little bit out. We were supposed to take that episode and put it in here, but we didn't do that. It's okay. Either way, so here we go. They're watching the cities burn. So all of a sudden they sent out the bombers to burn it. And they say, and then all of a sudden he goes, okay, I can't be a tough guy anymore. I'll make the peace. We'll fight with you. But they do have to get into the castle. So, which is kind of tough because now that one castle we saw last week, a couple episodes where they just put up that wall that somehow Anakin got into and didn't blow everything up for some reason. I don't know why they wouldn't destroy it. Has now formed into a full-blown command station and is huge. And they're about to abandon it. And that is not Hera, by the way, is it?
No.
It sure doesn't look like it.
I think she had a brother.
That looked like a girl, but it could be a boy.
I know. I'm just saying. I think she had a brother when I was reading up.
Dooku keeps telling him like, "Hey, get out of here," and the commander droid is like, "Yeah, we got to get out of here. We're going." But Tam is just like, "I got to get all the gold off the planet." He's just the guy you like to punch, right?
That's weird. He doesn't even say gold. He just says treasures.
Treasure.
Yeah, treasures.
So, because I was thinking the same thing, and then he says it 2 or 3 times, and I'm thinking, okay, they don't ever define the treasures. So it could be, I mean, works of art, statues, pieces.
Yeah.
Could be stuff that ends up growing up at Thrawn's lair. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what I was thinking is I wonder how much of this ends up with Thrawn or how much. Anyway.
Well, was it also kind of weird to see the senator be like his people are starving, and when you see like how I would say well fed he was, it kind of it's like
no, he's straight up fat. He's straight up.
Well, he's also different.
That's reaching.
Like he's got like Simpson hands. Like he's only got 4 fingers. Everybody else has 5-finger hands, and he's got 4 things out of his head. So he's not. He's like a quad.
He's got 2. No, he's only got 2.
There's 2. You see it later. There's 2 more out the back.
He's a big. He eats too much. You're right.
He grew extra tails.
He gets. That's Palpatine's right hand guy too. So I mean, one of the right hand guys. Either way.
But you would think like if you're talking to your people, I don't know if like you can like change your hologram or something because you don't want to look like gluttonous almost, right? Your people are starving. Look at them.
He's at Coruscant. He doesn't care. That was the whole point. That's why Sadula didn't want to deal with him because he's like, look at this fatty over here, and I'm over here starving, and all my people are starving. And the deal was that he couldn't run. That it had to be. He couldn't take over leadership if the Republic helped. He had to. That it has to go to democracy, which would mean that the other guy's still going to be the senator.
Yeah. And
that became the final agreement there. And they said, "Yep, we got to go fight." There's also they had enslaved a lot of these people to start stealing the treasures. One reason I think some of it was gold was because when you saw, and you'll see it later when they go onto the bridge, there was like
it's not gold. It's pogs. That's what Joe's doing.
Yeah, pogs. Well, they look like something shiny. Yep, pogs. Cool. So Mace decides that he's going to take Dude 1 and Dude 2, and they're going to storm the castle and
take the bridge.
Yeah, they're going to take the whole bridge. And then after that, we're going to have all the Ryathons and those things come back. He's just, who stares down a droid? That's what I'm telling you. That's just a move, dude.
It's like a pod, right?
I couldn't get like the clip or good images from that clip. If you watch that clip when he falls and he makes his way back, it is fantastically done.
It's really
the sound. It's just well done.
Mm-hmm. So he gets Dude 1 and Dude 2 to reestablish the bridge. And when Dude 1 clone and Dude 2 clone reestablish the bridge, the Ryathons. So Duel and all of them come across with all the people. They take it over. The gold treasures are well, actually, the command robot left without him too.
Yeah,
did he call him dumb or stupid at one point? He's like, man, he's really just not smart. Which is kind of funny. And then you get the whole storming, and then they freed Ryathon. So that was kind of cool. That was a good one.
Do you guys think with Mace having the pod and being able to balance the dark and the light makes him? I think that's why they didn't give him like a whole battalion. Like he's that powerful.
Oh yeah, he uses 2 dudes, random dudes. I mean, I think he is. That's what I was saying. Like we mentioned a little bit before, maybe not even an episode that you were directly in, but somehow we had mentioned an episode like how powerful is. Wow.
Yeah, he also saved those 2 dudes too.
Yeah, he definitely saved. While falling, yeah, and they did that silent thing where it was like, boom. It was like the jump through hyperspace thing. It was really cool, real cool scene. So there you go. You have that one. It was good, make you feel a little bit happy, even though there's some tough subjects going on in that one. I thought it was really good.
Did we lose?
Looks like we lost some people.
Yeah, Solo. Solo said he'll be right back.
All right. All right, so cool. So we lost some people, but let's vote it out real quickly. Oh, let's have Jedi. Jedi, this episode, did you like this episode? You don't have to give it a rating. What'd you think?
No, I liked it. And, I mean, just kind of piggyback on what you're saying about Mace. This is one of I'm sure people have read this. So, yeah, even in this one, when he goes out with a very small, he doesn't have a whole lot of, troops with him, or as far as he goes out with a couple of Jedis. And that's why I'm saying he usually ends up fighting because he ends up fighting with one of them in this one. So,
Well, I mean,
I think Mace is kind of like almost like your special forces. It's just kind of an insertion, kind of. You don't make a lot of noise, even though I guess usually he ends up doing it. He ends up making noise, but yeah, he's your special Jedi special forces.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think that's why he's sent there. But he's at least in this one, he didn't get the 2 guys killed like he did when he got the guy's what's his name's head chopped off and stuff like that. So I mean, there you go. All right, Pete, what do you have on this scoring? Oh wait, we got to do the Jen thing. Jen, can you? Or no, Pete, go. Then we'll have Jen explain to us the thing. Pete, go. What do you got?
Well, for this one, I'm going to go with a 4. I'm not going to give it that extra half bump because I didn't get the Misties, but it still was a very good episode. I did love, as we've already talked about, that Mace scene, and that was really cool. And overall, I mean, it was pretty well done for wrapping up this storyline. I still don't get where this quote comes into play, so I'm waiting to hear from Jen how this ties in, because I don't see where that compromise was actually made. Dude got left behind by the droid, so he didn't compromise. Dooku didn't make any deals. He said, all right, we're done. We're leaving. Bomb the place. Kill everybody. They didn't compromise. I don't know who compromised in this. So
Syndulla did to save his people.
There you go.
Yeah.
Did he, though? It was like his people were getting blown up. He didn't really
He had to. If he didn't compromise, it would have been the end of his people.
Well, he believed in democracy anyways. He didn't want to run. So he didn't. He was just like, yeah, get him in, I guess.
I mean,
it pretty much looks like he had 1 foot in the grave, and he either had to do it or he was dead. That doesn't seem like compromise.
The senator, because Syndulla stayed on planet and rallied his people to fight, he'd be the natural, like the next leader, like naturally. Because like, okay, well, you fought in the trenches with us while this other guy was freaking on some other planet, like living it up. Mm-hmm. He's out. You're in. So to
getting his fortune.
Yeah. So it was a shitty compromise, but it had to be done. And he had to, and he could have been like, F it, we'll try to get by and come another way. But he's like, no, man, too much like deaths and stuff. 4.
4. Oh, 4. And then throws in a 4 casually.
Yeah.
Okay.
Dude,
Solo, go ahead.
Mace awesome. Like
Mace was really awesome.
I want to see that series. I want to, there's been like fan made films or shorts. They are cool. Come on. Just, it'd be cool to have Jackson come back and do it in a live action. I would be okay with the animation like Bad Batch.
Oh yeah. That'd be cool. Cool. Good thoughts. Yeah, I know he's back. Do you have sound, Solo?
I do. I like this one. I like it a lot. It's not as good as the Gendy Mace Windu episode, but it's real close. Like it shows what's written on Mace Windu's wallet, and I mean, you got to respect it. The way he comes in and he just levels stuff, and I love it when they. Unfortunately, I don't think there's enough episodes or times that we get to see just how powerful Mace is, and when he comes in and like you were saying, Marco, he comes in with 2 dudes and he just wipes out stuff. He's just like, okay, done. Like, I've had enough of you. End game. So I mean, this one's a 4 in my book.
Okay, miracles happen twice apparently. So I actually am going to give it a 4.5 because out of all, and this is basis on it. One, the Mace thing is cool. Like, I really did like it. I like how it played out. It was actually kind of emotional. And I was like, man, I paused it at one time to ask my kids, like, you guys okay in this episode? Because there's a lot of tough subjects that were going on in this episode. Yeah. And they did a good job of explaining it, which was really nice in a softer way. But I will also say that in the last 3 movies, the part that I found was acceptable, more than acceptable, but only part pretty much I found acceptable was the hyperspace scene when they did the 5 seconds of silence. And they did that in this right here. Mm-hmm. And I think it plays, if you do it right, it plays really well. And they definitely did it on the bridge falling down scene where he got it. He saved Trooper 1 and Trooper 2, threw him there, and then did the jump up, the stare down, which was just, it's silent, right? And he's doing the stare down. Real cool, man. They did a great job of that. and then at the end tell the whole story. And it was, even though it was a compromise, it wasn't just okay, we're best friends, we're best buddies. You can tell there was a little bit of animosity towards that. And calling Tams dumb by the commander droid, like the analytic commander droid, I think was hilarious because it was right at a very tense part. And to put that little bit where he goes, he's not that bright. It just was like, it kind of pulls you out of like the slot of being upset with it and everything like that. So, give it the old little 4.5 there. I don't know what we're going to do with the next episode because the last episode was a banger. I mean, that's the only way to explain it.
Real quick, I can't find the back of his head, but look at the side shot. There's more than 2 things coming out of this dude's head.
No, I think that's his fat neck.
That's not neck. I'm telling you, there's 2 tails out the back. You got to rewatch the episode.
Thank you for that. All right. Hey, Joe's in the comments. We got JJ. Joe is killing us with the Pogs comments. I'm not young enough to remember, but one of my younger brothers had those, and those are funny. We got a lot of great people. We appreciate everybody down there. All the Darks that are sitting there. We love it when the Darks come to the dark side. Always do. Comics are fun. We have a lot of these guys, too, that are going to be on, once again, that Thursday show. Make sure you show up there. Make sure you also are watching Comic Book Women on Tuesday. Jen, do we have anything good for Tuesday?
Mm-hmm. We're going to do spring cleaning.
Good. And they've got also a new channel, if you guys aren't following, called
Nearing Nerdvana.
Thank you very much. So make sure you go check out their channel too, which is good because you guys did an interview with what's his name, the guy with the holocorn. I just picked up those books because
Warcorns?
Yeah, Warcorns. Yeah, mm-hmm.
Garrett Gunn.
Yeah, Garrett Gunn. Good stuff. And Pete did an unboxing with what's his name? We already mentioned that. Let's go. Last one. We're getting out of here. Last one is I was reading through the chats as usual. S1E22, the final episode of season 1, the hostage crisis. It brings it back to some of our favorites. It's great because people were asking about Huts earlier. It just everything about it is good. Jen, please give us the quote.
A secret shared is a trust formed.
And that just applies to nothing in this. So, okay, good. There we go. The worst card to come through here. Pete, do we have the play up? We do. Let's share it.
Got it.
Cad Bane.
There he is.
Oh, man, Cad Bane. They need to finish off his story arc. They really do.
Would you also want him in the live action, or would you want him in the Obi-Wan? Oh, I guess either Obi-Wan or Mandalorian.
I don't want him in Obi-Wan. He would be dead already in Mandalorian unless they do a flash. Well, maybe not. If they stick with it, he should be dead by that point. So
could they have him come back?
I would like to do something like Scum and Villainy, and then just like you do with the Bad Batch, and do a Scum and Villainy, and then you have her show up too, and you see her getting pushed off the edge. I don't think you need to do live action for everything. Remember, the Clone Wars and Rebels were done very well, so I wouldn't mind it. He's actually got a lot of guys here too that are pretty interesting. That is not that IG unit. There is not IG-88.
Nope.
It is also not
IGs.
Yeah, there's tons of IGs. Actually, Clone Wars has like a bazillion IGs. I did track this one down. This is Helos 3D. That's his name, Helos 3D. Okay, you've also got one of the weekends from what's the Hondo's guys? That was the Weekways, the left-hand guy, not the right-hand guy of Hondo there. And we got a little thing. She's still alive. She hasn't been pushed off the edge yet. So really cool. And they are going to the Senate building to... Do you feel, just a quick question, they're going to the Senate building. These guards are terrible. I don't understand how they're the elite clones. Because all they do, look, first off, if you see this coming through, like game over, right? You're not playing. You're just taking them out.
Wait, were those clowns?
Not anymore. At this
point, they were the droids.
Yeah, at this point, they were the droids. But what I'm saying is, like, they're like illegal parking, aisle 3, illegal parking, aisle 3. Like, no, you don't. No, you just get blast them. Boom, done. Throw up a little protective shield above the Senate. Do something like that. I don't know. Maybe I'm just going to get into defense, and I'll explain for people how to do this. We also had the love story of this.
Yeah.
No. All right, somebody want to cover this because I'm not covering this. I'm just not doing it.
It just reminded me a little bit of like the Romeo and Juliet. It made me upset to rewatch it, because I felt like it was very young love, where it's because he was like, "Oh, don't you love me more than your job?" Basically, and you're like,
Oh
"What?
yeah, I know.
What the f? No, what? You're Jedi, and she's like a senator. This is her lifelong, and you're gonna let's go on a date instead." God.
Yeah,
No,
and then
see,
he tells them,
okay, like that's the only part. Well, the beginning part that this has been a conversation I've had a million times, and it's been reverse roles either way. When one of us are deep into it, and we're like, "Hey, dude," before we had kids, we're like, "Let's just get out of here and go on vacation. We're done with it." Like, they're like, "No, I got this 2 meetings, and then we can go after that." Back and forth type of stuff. So I get it, man. I get where that is. But like the handing over of the lightsaber,
we're
and like,
talking about leaving for 2 weeks. This isn't like, hey, let's go grab a bite.
well,
Yeah.
No. But we've hopped on a plane before and just decided to go stay in like Key West or something.
But if your job can save
so-
people, it's a direct line of saving people. Nah, fuck the Republic. Let's just go on a date for 2 weeks.
Who here's saving people?
She has to go do a bill that's really important that would help people. And he's
The
like,
the lady that's got 6 handmaids and nobody can tell any of them differently. She could have left, bro. And he's supposed to be meditating anyways. Like, why didn't anybody call him out on that? Like, this is another episode where you're like, oh, the chosen one. This is like Mace Windu should have come in and just offed his head at this point because he's supposed to be like on meditation leave or something. And he didn't. Either way, I understand. It went
a Scooby-Doo mission. She was actually doing Senate stuff as a senator, and I don't know. His story was awful too. Like,
his story was awful.
This lightsaber is your life, so I'm handing you my life.
Oh, the building of the lightsaber thing. That was bad. That's where I'm saying it went south. The beginning part of like, hey, dude, look, man, we just gotta get out of here. No, I feel that portion of it, but the crying about like this is the lightsaber of love or whatever that thing was. No, please, no. Please, no, that was tough. And then the like, I can't because, dude, you got 16 handmaids. You guys could have gone meditation or not for 2 weeks. You guys could have gone to someplace, but they would have ended up on Naboo anyways. I mean, that's where they always go anyhow. Yeah, so she's got the lightsaber. Yeah, great. Okay, whatever, man. This doesn't make any sense. We get a little kissy going on. And then who knows what happened on the desk afterwards. They got enough time for all that, but they can't just go fly someplace in hyperspace for a while.
Then you hide under the table.
Why didn't you just use the "you do not see me"? I don't get it, but whatever. All right. Then these guys come in. We get Frog Guy, which is great.
Baby Fishmouth.
Mm-hmm. Who is their tech. Nice. Yeah, they did such a good job in this series with bounty hunters, man.
Mm-hmm.
They really did. They covered every angle with it, and it all made good sense. I think this is my question to you on Cad Bane. Do you feel at this point, because this is still early on with Cad Bane, obviously in season 1, but did you feel this Cad Bane was a little bit more like kill hungry, almost like berserker than later on? Like he still was kind of ruthless later on, or still a villain, but he wasn't. This really did seem to.
This was calculated though. This wasn't just vindictive. Like,
well, it kind of was till the end, if you recall. So we'll cover the end in a little bit. So he goes into the Senate and he gets them to shut down the power. Also, a very interesting point. They capture some of the in the east part of the Senate. They capture a couple of senators. Obviously, you got Organa there, and you got Padme. And why? Because C-3PO's there because C-3PO. Actually, they have all of them too, because that's her in the background. Yeah, I don't know why C-3PO is there. Does anybody know why C-3PO is there? Also, that is her godfather in the
because
background.
C-3PO is Star Wars.
Oh, C-3PO.
No, that's R2.
Star Wars.
So let's no more voting for C-3PO. So
this is the secret shared though.
This is literally all the people. Like if they would have actually blown this up, game over, because this is like all the people associated with the rebellion. So early on, you just put Martha or whatever her name is in there, and it's
Mothra.
Yeah. So they take it over, and at the same time, they shut down the power. And this actually shows something that's very interesting too. Palpatine didn't know about any of this. He couldn't, right?
Well, look, because it has to do with the underworld. Remember, he's kind of
It has to do with later on we find that out, but yeah, it's an underworld thing that's going on. And Palp kind of makes the moves, but you can tell he's a little upset too about what's going on down there. Oh, for some reason the prostitute droid is in the Senate. She is, right? Like that's what that is, right?
Jocasta from the Avengers.
And then she covers up at one point. Like, I don't know, man, what goes on in that Senate, but like all those people that have a problem with Lando, you need to go watch this episode because there was something funny going on in that room. And Lando wasn't
so
there.
many comments I'm keeping to myself on this episode.
You're being very good.
Yeah, very good. All right. So then eventually they're going around to make sure that there's nobody else there because they see him in the air vents, right? They figure out he's in the air vents, that Anakin's in the air vents, and she's hiding the lightsaber. She still has the lightsaber, and she could have easily just like tossed it to him. Game over. He takes everybody down, but she decides not to, and she's like, "Don't let him frisk me." Which they weren't frisking anybody; they're just asking to turn over the communication.
She couldn't toss it. Who's she going to toss it to at that point?
Him. Oh, and then he gets electrocuted. Yeah, new effects. Good job, Pete. Fish guy catches him, and he gets electrocuted by Fish guy.
He gets what?
Tasered.
Jiggly.
Yeah, there we go.
Jiggly.
Give us the jiggly. You can't say electrocuted. You're banned from that word.
Jiggly.
It is the jiggly.
Jiggly. So there he goes. Then it's all to free Zero the Hutt, who got captured a long time ago. Real good story arc. So I can't wait till Bad Batch is over to do the Zero the Hutt story arc. We will do it out of order because it was so good. They threaten Palps. They break it out. And Palps, for some reason, there's like a blaster door. He's like, I can't open it. Like, just use the Force, bro. You could have done it. I don't get that. Eventually, he has a bunch of people break in to his windows. And he's like, yeah. That's what you should know, too. When they break into your windows and you're like, you don't even flinch. And you're like, yeah, bro, I'm good. Like, something's up with you. She finally gives him back the lightsaber, cuts it off just in time for him because they set up this bomb trap. And they said, if you try to stop us, we're going to blow up the whole wing. It wasn't the case. They would only blow up one floor. He then takes his lightsaber, drills a hole in the last second, and nobody even had a bloody nose after this for some reason. They literally fell down through. Nice.
Not only that, they were grabbing the edges of the molten floor like it wasn't like a problem.
Nothing happened. But Cad Bane eventually gets away after. See, he didn't actually have to blow it up because they were going to let him go. And then he goes, let's get some revenge. Let's just blow up these senators anyways.
They didn't follow instructions. He said, don't try anything. They tried something. You broke the rules. You paid the price.
That's not what he said.
Bloodthirsty. That's just being true to what you said.
That's not what he said. He gave it back. He got all the guns back, got on here, turns to Zero, and Zero's like, it's nice to be out, get some air. And he goes, you want to get some revenge? And then he hits the button to blow him up. He says something to that effect. So he is kind of a little bloodthirsty in here. Good character, though. I like him. All right, maybe we'll get another Black Series of him coming out soon, hopefully, because I know we really would like to have him come out.
I got him up back behind me.
Yeah, sure. Okay, nice for you. All right.
So,
I heard a tone of jealousy almost.
Yeah.
I figured you'd have like 6.
No, actually, that's the one figure. I should have ordered that. That was one where I was like, man, I'm gonna order the exclusive, and I didn't, and then I got butthurt over not ordering exclusive, so I refused to not order them until I couldn't get them.
So you wouldn't get the regular one then?
I know. I just moaning around when they run it under the legacy. When they run it under the archives, I'll just buy it then. Okay, so let's do some rankings and not talk about black figures, even though. Okay, so. Jedi, give us your opinion on the episode. We got 27. Give us like 3 thumbs up. If we get like, we usually get like 22 anyways. Let's try to get 25 thumbs up. That would be special just for today. I think give us a thumbs up. Even if you don't like the content, I don't care. Give us a thumbs up anyways. All right, go ahead. Jedi, what do you got?
Just for shits and giggles, just a thumbs up.
I got no comment on this one. I mean, I remember watching this one. I mean, I watched them all, but this one I remember as soon as you started talking about cutting the hole in the floor, I was like, oh, yeah, I remember that one. Yeah. I watched it. Don't really remember. I have no comment on it. I'm trying to wrap this up, Marco. Let me wrap this up.
Go, Pete. Go, Pete. Yeah, we were way over time. We're way
all
over
right.
time.
This one, it probably would have stuck in that 4 range if not for that crappy love story that was forced into this thing. So I got to bring it down to 3.5.
Okay.
It just bothered the hell out of me. But Cad Bane is awesome. Like if Cad Bane this would have been a 2 if not for Cad Bane.
Very good. All right, Solo, what do you got?
I like this one. It's first Aura, first CAD in these series. I gotta go 3.5. I mean, isn't their quick second? This is kind of really their first real story, though. Anyway, other than that dumb love story stuff, where I mean, really, you're kissing, you're in there. Just act like you're talking some Jedi politic business. Like, really, you gotta hide under the desk, you moron.
Yeah.
Whatever. I mean, that stuff was lame, but the rest of the story is really cool, and I like the interaction of the old pirates and bandits. It was well played, well done.
What'd you give it?
3.5.
3.5. Perfect. Okay, good. Jen, let's hear what you have.
I'm gonna do 4 CAD.
4
purely
CAD.
off Cad Bane and the bounty hunters. That's the only reason. Because I don't like the other stuff either. But Cad Bane, and then being kind of BA at the end, being like, oh,
My grade solely is based off of if Jen can explain what this has anything to do with the show.
Is it the trust between Padme and Anakin? Because that's kind of not fair. Isn't that already built in?
Okay, so I was going to give it a 4.5 because of Cad and all the good stuff, but since you said that's why it is, I'm going to give it a 3.
Because
No,
most of the trust.
2.5. I'll give it 2.5.
Oh.
2.5. Flat out 2.5. If that's the reason why they gave that card, that was the worst scene out of the whole thing.
Or is it between 0
Bane.
and Bane? Cad Bane.
Well, if you do that, then I'm giving you a 4.5. Which one is it?
I'm gonna say it's probably between Cad Bane and 0. That makes more sense.
Except for we know what happens later on. Okay,
yeah.
well, either way. So we'll just go in the middle. We'll give it a 3.5 because we did not determine what the card is actually for.
I'm telling you, Bail Organa figured out what was going on. Why do you got that lightsaber? Why would you have
he
that?
dropped it and I picked it up and you're like, oh,
Yeah,
sure.
all right. He dropped it oh, cop. Oh, how did you get the police officer's gun? Well, he dropped it in the hall. I found it.
We're losing helmets the more we talk.
He dropped it and I picked it up.
Either way, the CAD stuff's good. The stuff it leads into is very good. We appreciate everybody, man. We really do. We appreciate everybody in chat. We appreciate everybody that watches this all week. Come Thursday, we'll have something for you. Next week, what are we doing, guys? Are we doing a little Ewoks, or are we going to go straight part 1 of the Samurai Jack stuff?
I might need to sit out next week.
That's fine.
It's WrestleMania.
I mean, you'll never hear me not vote for Gendy. Gendy Clone Wars is the best stuff that ever existed.
Part 1. Hopefully we get some more news. I bet you'll have some more Star Wars news. We'll keep doing that. Maybe update some character stuff and give a little theories of what we think are going to happen in the upcoming shows. Or maybe some covers. We got some cool covers coming out. We'll do something for the first half. We'll keep it back down to an hour, hopefully. We hope everybody had a great day today. Great week coming up. And we'll see you. I don't know, man. We'll see you when we see you. Hopefully on Thursday. Oh, it's not muted anymore? It's not muted anymore.
Back club.